But when I felt trapped, that's when doors would open. They said God makes a way, that's how I know I'm chosen. You can throw stones and try to judge me, but God loves me, God loves me. You can chastise and try to treat me ugly, but God loves me, God loves me. You can't be insolent and act like you're above me, but God loves me.
You are now tuned into the Boxing Bros. I'm Caden. I'm here with my co-host.
What's going on, everybody? It's Trill Dollar Bill. What's popping?
You know what it is. This is Conspiracy.
And it's not the TBE. What's up, world?
All right, so we're going to dive into our first topic, which is a sparring partner says that Usyk doesn't have the power to hurt Anthony Joshua at heavyweight, basically. And so we're going to go to the video of the sparring partner so you can hear it from the sparring partner's mouth.
Insight into his power, because that's what people are asking about. What he's had 2 fights against Witherspoon and Chisora at heavyweight. Still questions have to be answered about whether he's too small at heavyweight, etc. What's his power like at heavyweight? Can you make any comment on that?
Yeah, but we are sparring for 2 weeks. But 2 weeks now, but I was not expecting. I don't know if it's the way you prepare for it, but never get any punch that he hit me. Like I can see that he can move that, but maybe because he's keeping that for fight. But you know, in cruiserweight, it's not the same in heavyweight. If you see him, he looks small, and you know he need to put some weight on it because in heavyweight, you know, heavy punch. In cruiserweight, he's got nice skill, but I don't think he has the same power with AJ. I don't think so. AJ's got more power than him. But I spy. I never see any big punch like I aspire AJ. That's a big difference. But you know, boxing is not only big punch. You know, it's boxing skill as well. Because I learned lesson from that.
So, anyways, he's going to go into his own personal experiences, but basically, he's someone, Martin Bakoli. He's someone who sparred Anthony Joshua and Aleksander Usyk, and he's saying that Usyk doesn't have the same power as Joshua, and Usyk doesn't have power at heavyweight. And just break it down, he said like skill is good in cruiserweight, but in heavyweight you want to have pop. But then he kind of says pop isn't everything, you need skill. So Trill Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to the sparring partner saying that Usyk doesn't have power at heavyweight?
On this episode of Confessions of Sparring,
this is episode 3, bro.
Episode 15.
I know, man. Look, I don't know if he didn't get a sandwich or the sandwiches ran out and he didn't get a sandwich and he's feeling some type of way. But listen, you can't talk about sparring. Nobody talks about sparring. We don't know, like Caden, you bring up before. People work on different things in sparring. You know, you don't know where Usyk was working on, and you don't know what round he was in there on. You know, so and another thing is too. No, I don't think Usyk got the same power as AJ. That's kind of
it's like a no-brainer to me. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like we know. You're not telling nobody nothing new. You know what I'm saying? This is not like, this is world breaking news, you know?
Breaking news.
Anything is harder than Usyk at heavyweight. Yeah, we all you know what I'm saying? We all know
that.
I'm appalled. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know. Y'all let the cat out the bag. But nah, man, you're not telling us something that we didn't know. But like he did say though, Usyk does got other skills, and I think that those other skills will be on display when they get in the ring.
I'm almost afraid to do this, Conspiracy.
Yo, man, I feel like I don't want to kick him in while he's down. You feel me? this was like a no-brainer for me. I think for all of us, but I'm gonna go a little deeper because I was taking down notes. My mom said there's a big difference. So I've been saying this for the longest, right? But salute to our channel supporters. I used to mess up and say we eating Ukrainian soup. Now we eating Ukrainian borscht soup. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is, man. It sounded like homies talking like Usyk is the Paulie Malignaggi of the heavyweight division. Yo, listen, is it really a force though? Remember, Paulie had skill. He just didn't have pop. Paulie was nice back in the days. He just couldn't lay a dude out. Sound like Usyk to me. All I'm saying, man. So, hey, I'm just saying, we eating Ukrainian borscht soup.
TVE.
It's crazy to me, man. But I just Usyk's camp didn't believe in NDAs, man. Like you couldn't keep this man quiet till after the fight, but it is what it is at this point, yo. Maybe this is just a misdirection of information and things like that, and they're trying to mislead AJ, thinking like, Usyk don't got power, Usyk don't got anything. AJ come in there and like leaves his hands down and something, trying to catch AJ off guard. But this is I respect Usyk's talent, but I'm gonna believe it until I see it at this point. Because the fight's next weekend, and I'm gonna believe Usyk has no power when AJ don't respect it. That's all.
Oh man, this stuff, man.
Can
I
I say
think
one more thing?
Go ahead, brother.
Trill look like he's about to. Yeah, I saw. You know how people. It was me and him. They just contort their voices.
He paid me some bread. You know what I'm saying?
They can't see my face talking crazy.
Oh man,
that wasn't $1 bill.
Man. Nah, I think you're onto something with the NDA. The way that these sparring partners are coming out and just telling everything that's happening in camp, fighters are going to have to start making their sparring partners sign NDAs. It's almost like people are trying to get clout off of someone else's name. It's like the only reason why they're talking to this guy is because they want to get information about Usyk and AJ. And this guy is all too happy to speak about Usyk and AJ, and then you see him mixing in, I learned that in my fight against blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, bro, nobody cares about your fight. Mm-hmm. Just like the other dude, nobody cares about you either. They just want to know information about AJ, and they want to know information about Usyk. And I feel like, what's the point in talking about it? Now, Trill said it best. You're telling us that Anthony Joshua hits harder than Usyk. Duh. We didn't need you to tell us that. We already knew that. Nobody's talking about, Usyk has to go in there and knock out Anthony Joshua. But as a sparring partner, bro, were you not wearing headgear? Were you not wearing big gloves? Does that not make a difference? See, the thing is, so many people focus on power as if that's the only way to win a fight. Or that's the only way to knock someone out. Sometimes it's the perfectly timed punch, the perfectly placed punch that knocks someone out. Doesn't necessarily have to be power. You look at what Gabe Rosado just did in his last fight to come back and win. That was perfectly timed punch. It wasn't necessarily the hardest punch he ever threw in his life. It's throwing the punch at the right time. Okay, and you see a lot of knockouts like that. Even Andy Ruiz, when he caught Anthony Joshua, he didn't knock Anthony Joshua out. Joshua wasn't out cold, but he threw the right punch at the right time to throw Joshua's equilibrium off, and Joshua could never recover from that punch. So again, you don't need to be a knockout artist. You don't need to be the hardest puncher in the world, but does he hit hard enough? And I would say I saw him hurt Chisora He hurt Chisora more than I saw Joseph Parker hurt Chisora. And so I think like sometimes people get caught up in power too much. Then he contradicts himself because he said heavyweight's not cruiserweight. Skill is cool in cruiserweight, but in heavyweight you need that pop to keep someone off you. But then he goes on to give an example of how skill is in everything, and he learned that in one of his power. Yeah, power is in everything, and he learned that in one of his other fights where he was trying to knock a guy out. So it's just like, dude, you're contradicting yourself in this entire discussion. When all is said and done, go ahead, bro.
I think the reason why he did that, he probably realized like that's bad for business, man. Me hating on Usyk like this, you know what I mean? Like why mess up, the cash cow, you know what I mean? So he's like, oh no, I mean. But skill still could pay the bills in heavyweight. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So I think he's trying to clean it up at the end.
Confessions of a sparring victim.
Exactly. When all is said and done, bro, I'm so close to this. I'm sick of hearing people talk about sparring because, like, when you talk about sparring, it's just very difficult to regulate sparring. Who's doing what? Who's in what type of shape? You don't know who's been training for what, who's ready for this. You're wearing headgear, big gloves. It's a huge difference. Like some people can take punches from one fighter when they're wearing headgear and the gloves, but you take that off and then they wouldn't be able to take those punches. You see it so many times in boxing. I know me and Trill, we see it, like we've seen it and we've heard it. When we would know like a fighter was going to beat another fighter and we'd be in the barbershop and one dude like, in sparring, he was losing to, the guy beat him up in sparring and me and Trill like, sparring, here we go, sparring. Like, bro, are you serious? Like, you're bringing up sparring. And then in the fight happens and it will be like a wash. It won't even be close. And then we just go back and laugh. Like, why y'all like, in fact, sometimes dudes hold back to see what the other dude got. The other dude's going so hard and then they're like, oh, I'll kill him. Make the fight. I'm going to kill him. Like you never really know what's happening in sparring, so I don't want to hear it. So that's all I gotta say about it.
Yeah. Also, too, what's the trainer? John D. Jackson, right? He was talking about it. He was like, "Yo, sparring means nothing." He was like, "Kovalev was horrible in sparring. He was like the worst." But when it comes to fight night, he shows up. You know, like a lot of fighters are like that. And also, too. It's funny that we're talking about this because Logan Paul recently, I read it on Twitter. He was like, Mayweather had no power, right? And when he fought KSI, was that his name? He said he was worried about KSI's power. But I'm like, it don't matter. You still lost, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, like this sparring partner, man, I'm not gonna hate on him because I don't feel like he really divulged any like secrets behind the camp. They asked him a question about who hits harder. He gave his answer, so I don't think he violated the boxing code, but I do like the fact that he actually at the end did say, you know what, power isn't everything, right? So that tells me that Usyk was doing something to homie, you know what I mean? Because if not, he wouldn't even have brought that up. He would have been like, yo, I'm with G, we eat Ukrainian borscht soup, son. You know what I'm saying? So. But he didn't do that. So I like to believe that he got some good work with Usyk as well.
Excuse me, one quick thing though.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. I just want to add one quick point. Kovalev's the kind of guy who won't shine in sparring because his gift is power. Yeah. You got him in big gloves and headgear and everything. So he's not hurting the sparring partner the way he would in an actual fight. And that's the point I'm making. Some dudes aren't going to look good in sparring, but when you get in the ring, it's a different ballgame.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section, please.
Can I do this? Please like, share, subscribe.
Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Look, I didn't tell y'all this before the last week, but Phantom got a video out now called Walk With Me on YouTube. Please go check that out and go cop his album on all streaming services. Destined for Stardom. You know who we are. We're the Boxing Bros, and we're just getting started. I'm a fit. I'm gonna fix this light and then we're gonna get back to y'all. We just get started. It's the Boxing Bro.
When things seem bleak, walk with me. To navigate these streets, walk with me.